Hey blade lovers, welcome back. OG Blade Reviews with you once again today. And yeah, we got a little different thing going on the table today. Something I don't normally do, which is kind of a disassembly reassembly video, because I was contacted first of all by a fellow by the name of Alexander from LEX Custom International. He runs an Etsy shop selling these scales, and also they can be had directly from LEX Custom. They are made in Sweden. And what do we have here on the table? Well, we have a pristine, unused, if I can get it out of the box, Microtech Ram-Lok stitch. Yes. And I picked this up about a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, when shortly after the Ram-Loks became a thing. This is like the second gen, and this came out with the frag handles in G10. Since then, they've done the injection molded handles. I don't know if they've done them on the stitch, but they've done them on the MSI. Anyway, let's keep that out on the table, put the Microtech box away, and show you what we've got in the LEX Custom box. Now, this video is going to be staged. I'm not going to do real-time, rapid, fast-forward kind of thing, but instead, I'm going to break it into segments. You won't really notice that much because it'll be seamless to you once the video is stitched together. But here is what we've got. These are, I believe, the bead blasted, and they come in a lot of different finishes. These are titanium, and these are running just about $105 or so, I believe. They're going to be links with discount codes and so forth in the description of this video once I'm all done and it's posted. And that may need to be updated because Alexander is going to give me a discount code for 15% off of these. So that would knock the price down significantly to maybe $185, $85, $87 or thereabouts. Okay. So these are some beautiful scales. These are the Bead Blast, I believe. There's a name for them. They also make stonewashed, and they come in also various colors. And I'll make sure you've got descriptions to all of that. But these are running roughly half the price of some other well-known USA-made scales, which are running about $200 or so, that are a bit fancier than these. You may or may not like this pattern. I believe this is the only pattern they're using. The scales are currently available for the Stitch Ram-Lok, for the MSI Ram-Lok, for a couple of different Benchmades, as well as, including the Bugout, by the way, and one other that I'll let you know a bit later, as well as the Hogue. And the Hogue Deka. So he did send me these scales and the scales for the Hogue Deka. So I hope to be doing that video next. And that's a really nice improvement. By the way, that's for the Hogue Deka V2. So that's the one that a lot of people didn't like the scales because they were FRN, injection molded, and yet you had a MagnaCut blade on that one, I believe. So I've got the Warney version of that, the blade designed by Mr. Alan Alishewitz. So breaking the video up today because brain's not fully online yet. Got my nice Lyman rubbery mat out here because that's going to keep the screws from rolling away. And I'm going to get going on the disassembly. So next we're going to break right into kind of an intermediary stage with the scale off and so forth. I'm going to be using my wee bits, which are quite nice. And we've got a T20. I think one other reviewer disassembled an MSI and said but the pivot was a T15. I tried the T15. It was a bit sloppy. The T20 fits perfectly, and the body screws are all T8s. So here we are, about 30% through, maybe, yeah, 30% through with the disassembly and the reassembly, etc. I've got the left handle scale off. There is what's underneath on the beautiful Microtech Ram-Lok stitch. And by the way, it is advised, and I've seen elsewhere with other guys taking this apart, that you do one side at a time, take the original scale off, put the new scale on. One thing when we get to the other side that you're going to notice is that these are the V2 LEX Custom International Scales, and they have a threaded spot there for the clip. So you do not need to use the plate that is underneath here. You don't need to worry about that at all. You can obviously save those screws in the plate, or just what I'm going to do is save the whole assembly there, and then we get to the other side. So then we're going to slap this puppy on, and yep, perfect fit. Look at that beauty. I'm going to screw this thing back together, and then we're going to move on. Next step in our little exploration here is the right side of the Microtech stitch. And since I needed to take the pivot bushing out by tapping it out, and by the way, I got some nice handy tools here I've had for years from Lyman. And Lyman, if you don't know them, is an excellent company for both gunsmithing and disassembling other things, as well as local to me. They have their headquarters in a nice outdoor range. So use that little brass drift pin to knock that out, because it was very snug in there. So what we're going to do is put the right scale half on. And by the way, I'm having no problems just dropping these right on. And they're not sloppy at all. The fit is perfect so far. So here we go into the next step. And by the way, got all my screws lined up here. And there is the clip side. So we're going to remove the clip from the right-hand scale. You notice that there is a little plate underneath that we're not going to need, because the screws are going to go directly into the threaded slot there. What I may do is take the plate from this side and put it over on the left side of the knife, just like the original. So I got the screws in order that I took them out. They are slightly different. We have two larger ones, didn't measure them, two smaller ones. So the two larger ones go back here, two smaller ones go up here, and then we'll put that bushing back in. See you soon. Well, gang, it was a little bit of a struggle for me because I was a bit dumb about the Ram-Lok. Couldn't get that pin back through from this side. It was hanging up. Pulled back the Ram-Lok, boom, right into place. So the knife is functioning beautifully. Look at that. That is a beauty with these titanium scales on it from LEX Custom International, Swedish made. One last little thing we're going to do, and maybe I can do this in real time, maybe, is remove the clip, which is using T8 screws, by the way. And one thing I didn't raise with you is, yeah, so that's everything that comes out with that. Yeah, it's all one piece. I thought it was a separate plate underneath. We're not going to need it. However, with these scales, it is a right side only. I didn't notice that originally. So whether or not in the future they may go with the ambidextrous scales, I don't know. I was going to mention that there is some of the screws seem to have a little bit of blue Loctite on them. Some did not. So what we can do is put a little Loctite on there. I may take the body screws out independently and Loctite them just to make sure that everything hangs together. As you can see, I may need to cut this video while I fidget with the screws. Let me do that. So yeah, the clip is nicely made so that we have slots coming in from this all the way in from the sides to help us position those screws. You may have a different way that you prefer to do it. My hands are not as steady as they once were. Let's make sure that clip fits in there. Okay, yeah, it does, for sure. There's a little Chinese Amazon T-wrench thing. It's pretty cool. It's adaptable. You can disassemble it and use different parts of it to use as your driver handle. See if I can try this again. You missed all the fidgeting that I did in between video clips. We need to do that again. Let's do that again. All right, here we go. We're finishing it up, baby. Finishing it up. Having a magnetic bit is great for a lot of things, but when you're trying to do these little positionings and you have the screw keep following the driver, that's not fun. Here are the original Microtech scales, frag pattern, G10, very nicely made, but we are looking really good here with these new scales from LEX Custom, perfectly lined up. I did need to adjust the pivot screw just a little bit. It was a little tight. No wobble, no blade play, no lock rock whatsoever. You can tune yours, of course, to suit your style, but it does drop shut, and it is just sweet. Let's get this mat out of the way and give you a parting shot. There you have it, the Microtech, I was going to say Benchmade, the Microtech stitch Ram-Lok with its new LEX Custom Scales, about $105 less your 15% discount. When I post this video, if you don't see the link to the discount or to where to buy it, I actually will list where to buy it, but I am waiting to find out where that 15% discount code will apply, whether it's to the Etsy store from Alexander, whether it's directly with LEX Custom in Sweden or what. But you will have that within, I would say, a day of this video posting. Be well, take care, and enjoy. I know I will. Take care.